Hey guys, it's John from ScrubWire.com, and if you're watching this video, you're probably in nursing school or considering going into the program. If that's the case, I'm going to share with you right now 25 ultimate tips for passing the dreaded nursing school. This works for both 2 years and 4 years. Without further ado, let's get started. Thanks for watching, and be sure to visit my website, ScrubWire.com. Step 1, buy a freaking planner. Plan. Out of all seriousness though, when trying to pass nursing school, you have to stay organized. Planners help with that tremendously. Write in all of your class schedules, your work schedules, schedule out time to exercise, time to sleep, time to eat, time to hang out with friends. You have to do that. For a lot of you who require something to help them get through their day, a planner is a must. It doesn't have to be an actual book, it can be on your phone. But right here, right now, before you even consider going into nursing school, make sure you have an idea of how to plan out every single one of your days, and be sure to stick to it. Tip number 2, have access to a reliable car. Seriously guys, how can you even imagine or think about passing nursing school without having a reliable car? Too many students, no matter what school you attend, seem to have to depend on other people to get to class. Now remember, when in nursing school, you can only miss about 2 different classes or clinicals until you're kicked out. So if you miss class, you better have a good excuse, and your good excuse cannot be that I don't have a reliable car. If you don't have one, you gotta figure it out, and you gotta figure it out right now before going to nursing school. Tip 3, stay away from the junk food. The best way to feel ready and healthy for nursing school is by eating healthy. Don't gain the weight that most people associate with nursing school. It's easy to do, okay? Your stress will cause you to eat junk food. I recommend trying your best to stay with the healthy stuff, even though it's hard. My favorite snacks for nursing school, oranges and bananas. Honest to God, that kept me full throughout everything. Tip 4, exercise once or 3 times a week. Not only should you avoid junk foods, as we discussed in our last tip, try to exercise at least 2 to 3 times a week. You don't have to go lift weights, just go outside and take a 30-minute or an hour walk or a 1 mile, 2 mile walk. It helps you think, get thoughts off your chest outside, fresh air. It's really good for you and highly recommended. Tip 5, make sure to get plenty of sleep. Also a super important tip. When in nursing school, make sure you get plenty of sleep, 6 to 8 hours if possible, and try your best to get at least 10 hours before nursing exams if possible. It helps you wake up, refreshed, and ready to dominate your nursing school. Tip number 6, find a good support group. A support group would be a group of people outside of your nursing program. This could be friends, family, wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever. But to pass nursing school, you're going to have a good system of support, starting with family. These guys will help you get through those stressful moments that nursing school will indefinitely present to you. Number 7, find a nursing study group. Nursing study groups are a great way to pass information on to other students who are enrolled in the same nursing program. Try to find a study group of at least 3 to 4 other students that can meet once a week to pass along different types of information learned throughout nursing lectures. This is also great for studying for nursing exams. Number 8, before starting the program, write down a list of notes of why you joined the program in the first place. Yes, it's true. Nursing school is hard. However, it's not impossible to pass. However, you're going to probably experience some high-stress moments. Therefore, what I recommend is before you begin the program, write down a list of 10 different items telling you exactly why you chose to join nursing school in the first place. So during those high-stress, intense moments during nursing school, you can reflect on those notes to remind yourself why you're going through it and why ultimately you are going to pass. Buy a pair of comfortable sneakers that you can wear during your clinical. 1 or 2 pairs is great because you will always be on your feet. When attending nursing school, you're going to be required to either attend an 8 or 12-hour clinical every single week. This may be 1 or 2 different clinicals throughout the weekdays, okay? With that being said, you're going to be on your feet for a long time during those shifts. It's important to have comfortable shoes. They do sell nursing shoes all over the place. They're pretty expensive, but having a good pair of shoes will help you endure those long clinical hour days. Tip number 10, take notes, and make sure to take a lot of them. Taking notes is super important when I'm attending nursing lectures. Be sure to take good quality notes and lots of them, and then go back home and reread everything that you had learned. Tip number 11, don't be afraid to ask your nursing professor questions. No question is stupid. The only stupid question is an unasked question.
Teacher, I know that you said it like 5 times in a row in the past 30 seconds, but can you once again tell me what a normal blood pressure is?
There's only one stupid question that exists in all of humanity, and that's the question that's never asked. Now, as a nursing student, don't be asking questions that your teacher just answered in their lecture. If you're asking dumb questions because you're not paying attention, then yes, those questions are dumb. But don't be afraid to ask them. When you need to know something, you need to ask. Otherwise, you will not learn and retain the information that's given to you throughout your entire nursing program. Tip number 13, even if they're not provided, ask for study guides. Always ask your professor for a study guide, even if they don't hand them out publicly.
Hey, Professor, what's your nurse's name? I know that you haven't handed them out to the classroom, but I was just curious to better help me study for nursing. Do you have any kind of study guides that I could follow or any kind of information recommended to learn before my next nursing exam?
When using the internet, make sure to use credible resources when studying for tests.
Internet resources. What is an average blood pressure? 190 over 158. Okay, that sounds about right.
After you're done with the nursing lecture, go home and restudy the information taught to you in that lecture itself. Something that you must understand and accept before going into nursing school is that you have a ton of information to learn in a short amount of time. With that being said, when you're done with your nursing lecture, go home and reread everything that was covered within your lecture. It will help you retain the information that you had learned throughout the day that you just finished.
Introverts are not permitted in nursing school. Once again, introverts not permitted in nursing school.
Don't be afraid to raise your hand in class. Always participate in your study groups and with a teacher in the classroom. Tip number 17, don't daydream. Get rid of that habit, because if you have the habit of daydreaming in class, you're not going to retain the tremendous amount of information given to you throughout your lectures and clinical.
Oh, she is so pretty. I will be out of this lecture in 30 more minutes. I wonder what it's like to be in New York City. I don't know. It's probably pretty exciting.
Chew a different flavored gum for every lecture that you have in nursing school. Might sound pretty weird, but for every class that you have in nursing school, chew a different flavored piece of gum. While you're in your lectures, choose a flavor for that class and chew it. And then during your tests, chew the same flavored gum associated with the class that you took, and it might help you remember more information. Tip number 19, create flashcards. You can either make them yourself or you can buy them online. Flashcards are a superior way of learning new information and retaining that information. There are several great places online to buy flashcards related to nursing school, more particularly pharmacology. However, if you take good, thorough notes throughout your lectures, creating flashcards for yourself personally isn't that hard. Make sure to use your flashcards once a day and throughout your breaks, in your mornings and your evenings, and that will help you retain the information that you need to know in order to pass nursing school. Tip number 20, always complete your assigned readings that are given to you by your lecturer. How many times in this video do I have to explain that nursing school requires you to remember a crap ton of information in the short amount of time that you have to pass it? With that being said, when a freaking professor gives you information to read in a reading assignment, read the freaking article, read the chapter, read the book. You have no excuse for failing nursing school just simply because you're too lazy to read your assignments. Read them. Tip number 21, always pay attention to detail. This is actually a super important tip. When taking nursing exams, you mostly will be required to answer a multiple choice question that's choosing the most right answer out of all the right. So the 4 options that you have, they'll all be right, but you have to identify the absolute right. They're very tough to answer correctly. With that being said, when in lectures, pay attention to detail. That also means taking adequate notes and not daydreaming. 2 tips that we've previously talked before in this video. Pay attention to detail. Tip number 22, make sure to read each question presented to you completely and then some more. You should never have to figure out what to say when you miss a question because you read it too fast. When taking nursing exams, make sure to read the entire question at least twice before answering. Before starting nursing school, make sure you have complete control over your emotions. I'm not going to pass nursing school. Tip number 24, make sure to take some time for yourself. All jokes aside, it's super important to take some time for yourself. That means getting away from everybody, getting away from everything, and most importantly, getting away from nursing school. Take time to read a book that's not nursing related or do some kind of activity that's not nursing related. Try to do this at least an hour and a half to 2 hours a week. You have to do it to keep your sanity. Last but not least, tip number 25. When you give an answer for a nursing test, don't change the answer. Never second guess yourself. When you begin second guessing yourself when you're actually taking an official nursing exam, you increase your chances by 80% from missing the answer. If you go back a few tips that I've had here in this video, and you actually reread your question, you pay attention to detail, answer it, and leave it. Do not answer it unless you feel like you've got the right answer. If you don't feel like you have the right answer, skip it for now and come back if you have time on your test. It's better to not answer than to randomly answer and prove to your instructors that you have no idea what you're talking about. So once again, tip number 25 and the final one for the video, do not second guess your answers when taking nursing exams. Alright guys, there you have it. 25 ultimate tips for passing nursing school, whether you're in nursing school now or you're sitting there and considering it. If you are considering nursing school, let me be honest with you. Nursing school is tough. There's a ton of information to learn, whether you're in your associate's program, which is 2 years, or your BSN, which is 4. But you know what? Thousands of people graduate every year with their RN, and you can do it too. Just stick to these 25 study guide tips, okay? Make sure you have your support group, make sure you find a study group, exercise a little bit, and teach yourself to pay attention to detail, and most importantly, read your questions thoroughly and never second guess yourself. Like my video, don't forget to subscribe right here down below my YouTube channel. Is there something missing from my list of 25 tips for passing nursing school? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget, you can take my NCLEX practice test at ScrubWire.com. View the link down in the description below. Or if you're a CNA, you can also take my CNA practice exam. Links are down below in the description. Once again, my name is John from ScrubWire.com. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome freaking day.